This is the second part of my beginner-friendly Sands of Time video series. I did the sandkeeping one because I really didn't want people to go try learning from advanced sandkeeping, but I figured if I'm gonna make a sandkeeping guide, why not do a running guide too, so here we are. Your job description as a runner is pretty simple. Explore the dungeon and grab coins and sand as you go, although many people would add a third thing to that, a vault. There are 4 vaults in the dungeon, each of which requires its own colored key to unlock, and doing so will provide a good amount of coins. The green vault will be directly attached to the hub room in one of its 11 branches, whereas the gold, blue, and red vaults will be found down the respective vault paths. Vault paths are denoted by specific markings which I'll show on screen, which will be found on the walls of the rooms throughout the path. Not every room is capable of showing vault markings, so you may need to venture a few rooms deep into a path to determine if it's a vault path. I must warn you though not to emphasize vaults too much. They're only responsible for about 20 to 30% of the coins collected in each dungeon, but some people act as if they're far more important. I've seen players spend a ton of time wandering the hub room looking for a specific vault path, or leave a partially unexplored vault path early just because they found the vault, and both of those can cause far more harm to a team than not finding a vault can. One more thing before we start. There is a very, very high knowledge ceiling to running in Sands of Time. There are a bunch of little tips and tricks that you can only pick up on by playing a lot of games or watching a lot of VODs. There's no way I'd be able to fit even half of them into a single walkthrough, and I already avoided putting most into this one because it's more information dense than the sandkeeping one as is. So if you feel the need to pause or rewind just to digest things, don't be ashamed to do so. Now let's get into the run.
God, what am I looking for on the wall for the blue?
Cam will be the blue runner this event, so he's going to start the run by going under the timer and grabbing the blue key.
Like the trim along the top.
I'm just going to pause now. This is what a key looks like. It always has this podium, so if you're in the paths and you see a green podium or a gold podium behind some lava parkour, that is the green key or the gold key. I'd also like to point out here that you can actually see blue vault markings in the blue key room, right here. Compare this to these blue highlights up here, which you're going to find all over the dungeon. These are not blue vault markings. These will appear everywhere, but people always mistake these for the blue vault markings. Vault markings only look like this. They're darker blue, for the blue one specifically, and they're always this like thin half slab in these blocks. So only look for these for vault markings.
Oh, I found gold path. No way.
Oh, nice.
Okay, we need gold key, but...
Hi, chat. We go.
Alright, let's see if we can find it. Alright, I'm leaving all the sand here for you, Scott, and...
Thank you.
That's good by Cam. Don't pick up that sand in the hub room. You shouldn't be picking up the sand in the green vault either, because Sandkeeper can get that as well.
You figuring it out yourself?
Sure. Why do I hear a lot of ticking?
The green vault is in this room in the far corner over here.
That is fine. Yep.
Oh yeah, this is what a vault looks like, by the way, so... the blue vault looks like this, except blue. Same goes for the red, this but red, gold, etc. Just in case. I've seen some people say a bunch of weird things they think is a vault.
No, it's fine.
So you don't want to do that.
You shouldn't be in any tunnel. You shouldn't be in any room that's a room. Just be in a tunnel.
Be in a tunnel.
Because I can go into the rest of the rooms.
Okay, I'm throwing sand down there for you then.
That's a good call up by Scott. He's doing some good management of his runners.
Blue thing, but it's a puzzle, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, Cam points out that again, there's blue highlights. You can see blue pillars all around. Some people think this is the blue vault room just because there's all these blue pillars, but no, that's just the blue highlights.
Yeah, I'm going for a tunnel.
Also a good tip for you, if the first thing you see when you go into a room is pistons, you should probably just turn around and go back out. If it's a dead end anyway.
Under any stairs?
So now he goes into an unmarked path. This is one of those things that you'd learn with experience. I know that that specific room, that first room in this path, is capable of holding vault markings, so I can tell this is unmarked because it does not have any vault markings.
If you want to come back before you go in deeper to give me the sand, that's always an option, but it's up to you.
Oh, this isn't lava parkour, this is a puzzle. It's a piston puzzle.
Oh yeah, the piston thing. You're gonna try Neo it, aren't you?
Oh, I solved it. I solved the puzzle.
Okay. Nice.
Scott can tell what room his runners are in without even seeing their screen. He's got a ton of experience.
I don't think it was worth it. You told me to play safe.
There can be sand in little corners like that. Some people will miss it. Good on Cam for finding that.
Like a rusty key door. Like that's the other thing you've got to remember. There's the one right here.
Oh, I found a Ravager. Maybe I should.
He's hitting a bit fast for an axe. This is like, he should be using a sword here. That's something to know what weapon you're holding. Sometimes it'll replace the sword in your one slot with an axe when you pick it up.
Down there? I'm on you.
And here, yep, and there. There's a lot of mobs.
He's handling these situations well, though. You always want to, when you see spawners, you want to light up the spawner first, then kill the mobs, then destroy the spawners. So he's doing this in the correct order. If you fight the mobs first, for example, instead of lighting them up, then more mobs will spawn while you're fighting the mobs, so that's not good. Another out of order breaks people do sometimes. Sometimes people will try to break the spawners before killing the mobs. What can happen there is if a mob hits you, they can hit your crosshair over top of the torch while you're mining, and it will break the torch, and suddenly the spawner's unlit. And that'll cause problems.
Okay.
Okay, the gold path is fully marked. I'll put a...
I don't know what Cam's doing with these carpets here. People like to use carpets for telling direction. So they'll put carpets, say, on the right side, so that when you turn around and go back, the carpets will be on their left. So they'll be able to tell which way they're going. But I don't see what the purpose of these carpets are in the center, because they don't really convey that information. The only information they can give is that you've been there, but I mean, what help is that if everything's already cleared out?
Then, Forsey?
I'm back and give you the sand.
Okay, yeah, give me the sand. Just throw it down there. I can get. Just throw it there. Just throw it there. If you can go. Yeah, I see you. You can go.
Throw it on the ground. Do you have rusty keys, by the way? Actually, there was one more thing down the gold path.
People love to mine these blocks in particular, like these features in this room. There are a few other rooms as well, but people love to mine these decorations. I think they just see it and it looks kind of out of place, so people assume it's there for a reason, but that reason is just decorative. The only blocks in the walls that you can mine are cracked blocks, so don't just go mining other random stuff like that. People also mine stuff when they reach a dead end, for example.
I saw there was another path that way.
You shouldn't be doing that either.
I just keep exploring.
Okay, timer's full now. 18 sand. So.
Okay, I'm coming back this way. It doesn't seem to be anything.
So right here, this can be a path. And Cam just kind of skips over it. However, if we go back here, you can see him look down. And this is another like tip that some experienced players will know. For this specific room, if you see beige right here, that means the path will continue down here. But since Cam does not see beige, he doesn't have to bother going down the ladder to check. He sees there's no beige, so there's no continuation of the path down there. So he can move on.
Timer's full now. 18 sand. So.
Okay, I'm coming back this way. It doesn't seem to be anything.
Okay, you'll know pretty early if it's a blue path. It should have the trailing along the top.
Okay, well, I did a good bit of exploring here, and I got a bunch of coins, so that's good.
I see him skipping over a few rooms, which I don't like. There was the one back there. Let's go see it again.
I did a good bit of exploring here, and I got a bunch of coins, so that's
This gives a decent amount of coins, and it's not that hard. It's a bit of parkour up to a spider spawner, and like, there's a good amount of coins up here. So I like to do that, or, well, I don't play this game, but I like when the people I watch do that. This room, it's nice to go in here, because sometimes there's sand in these rooms, and passing it up without checking. I mean, if you do that a bunch, you're inevitably going to be passing up on a bunch of sand.
There's an outdoors? Okay? That's so cool.
Oh my god. A lot of creepers.
Your gasp scared me.
Hold on, I need...
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, how many creepers are here?
I like that he's doing this, though.
Bunch of coins there.
Some pretty easy coins.
Go, and coming back now.
Do you have sand?
I have a lot of sand.
I just want these guys to blow up. Okay, there we go.
Okay, I see where you are.
Coming back now.
Okay, give me the sand. And
I'm coming back.
Now, he marks this off. When you do a line like that, that's meant to indicate... This is meant to indicate that a path is fully complete. However, Cam still left a branch there completely unexplored, so I don't really agree with this. However, he does intend to move on to the blue path, so it's not that terrible.
I think the other side of the sand timer, Cam, on the floor.
On the floor, far side.
Ashes is in the red side here.
Okay.
Shout out Scott for doing a really good job here. He's directing Cam once again, this time to the blue path. Or just to any unexplored path, really.
I found blue, I found blue.
But he will go into the blue path. 4C finds the blue path, calms it.
I'm here.
That's the blue path. You can
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking.
And again, you can tell it's the blue path because we see the vault markings right here.
Okay, so the gold key could still 4C the coal. If you want, Cam came out of this path. You didn't finish it all, right, Cam?
I didn't finish it all, but a good amount of it is finished.
I'm just thinking if there's somewhere further you could look down, unless you have a tunnel.
I will search. Ooh, there's a path here. Interesting room.
Just some zombies in the way.
Well, this is fun.
Go.
Some water parkour.
Pretty good job dealing with those zombies.
Okay, I'm not going to bother doing this parkour here.
I found gold.
I like that from Cam. Don't do something you're not confident doing, especially if there's lava beneath it. That could go poorly.
The parkour is very hard.
I can show you where he was.
Now here, this...
I can give you sand.
H-Bomb loves to tell people to offhand torches, and this is why. If you have torches in your offhand, you can just go in, weapon in your main hand, and put the torch on the spawner. You don't have to worry about scroll wheeling or hotkeying through your hotbar to get to those torches. You can just go in, place the torch, easy.
I'm on my way.
And then go back to fighting mobs. Now he's all over the place. Now he has to go back to his weapon to fight the mobs. And then back to the torch to light things up. I do like that he's prioritizing lighting up the spawners, though. That's the right way to play.
Put 4 sand in here, it makes the parkour easier.
Light up the spawners first, deal with the mobs later. In fact, there's so few mobs now that you can just run away from them. You don't even have to bother killing them at this point.
I have 10 sand still on me.
Go for it.
Should I?
Yes, go.
Here, you do it, you do it, you do it.
Here, so you take this golden apple in case I miss.
Thank you. Oh, frick.
Where do you put the gold? Oh, in here?
Right,
Yep,
where is
yep.
this room?
Does it really make it that much easier?
There's nothing
know, we'll
there.
see.
Oh, it kinda does.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
back
this
away.
is interesting. Okay.
Do I have to
man.
go
If it
this way?
feels too bad,
No, you do not have to go this way.
I think it's
Parkour this difficult, there will never be a continuation of a path beyond this.
Yes.
So
Okay,
there's only
timer's
coins,
full, and I
and
have
a piece
5
of sand is a
sands.
reward for doing this
Oh,
parkour.
I got back with gold key. I'm
Okay.
on my way.
Nice.
I don't know whether. Oh, it's up
Timer's
a bit
full.
more. Oh.
Timer is full. I have
got me,
5
like,
sand.
Freaking out.
Timer is full. I have 6 sand.
Do we need more sand?
Back here.
Out.
Timer is full. I
Very
have 6
important. Up here you can see a target block. You always want to shoot these, because target blocks really often have sand in them. Often 2 sand even. So it's very important to get that. It is hard to see though. First of all, gamers don't look up. Second of all, this room is very dark. I'd recommend, by the way, turning up your brightness or your gamma when you play Sands of Time. Not just for you, but for your viewers. It's a lot nicer to watch a Sands of Time when you can actually see what's happening. Another thing that's especially hard to see since it's dark is that there's a sand in the wall here behind this vine. So that's another thing. When you go into these rooms, often you get a better view of the wall from the other side because there's no vine, so you can see the sand a lot more easily. So Cam could be passing up on 3 sand right here, at least.
sand.
Do we need more sand? Or we?
And then we go to here.
Yes, probably.
I'm fairly sure there's another target block up here.
Can you come
drop
back
some
with
off.
sand?
You're not going to see it right now, but there's also another room here. And again, there could be sand in this room. There could be sand in that room as well with the other cracked wall that you passed up. So in this one room alone, this hallway corner hallway motif, Cam could be passing up on 5+ sand.
Can you
come
come
drop
back
some
with
off.
sand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
if you can
back.
come back-ish. I'll rush gold path.
Okay.
Oh my god, I stressed out there. I'm just gonna rush gold path, and then I think that's good for my run. I'll see if I can get any more sand that way.
Scott, what do you think? What do you think I should do? Because I'm done with red path. I just did
Getting
main
in there
red. There's
to light up the
probably
spawners, that's good, although
this way.
if you had a sword so you could defend yourself while trying to run past the mobs, while you had the torches in your offhand, that would be a lot easier.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
you got the vault. Okay, give me sand, and you can go explore.
Oh, I
a
got more
little bit.
sand. There's more sand in the gold
Okay.
path if you guys want to
Okay,
get
yeah,
it.
I've got 12, so I'll go and run down the gold path to grab it.
It's on the ground. You can get it.
Okay,
It's not
that's
too
fine.
bad.
I should pop this in first. Cam,
There's
how
some
you
good
doing?
coins there.
I'm running
And
he
around
gets out
trying to
pretty
find the
easily.
blue
I like
thing.
that.
Timer's full, we have
There's
5.
a rusty key, but I don't have the
Find
key.
Okay, if you don't have a rusty key, then you probably can't get it.
I think I know where it could be, though. That's the thing.
I don't have any rusty keys on me, so you would need to try and find them.
Does it? Okay, right. Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone else
Oh,
does them.
another rusty key.
Don't throw harming potions at zombies. Harming potions will heal undead mobs. If you want to hurt them, use healing
I
potions.
thought it was- oh, you already
So you
got-
should have thrown a
got
heal
gold?
potion there to do
I got
damage.
gold, yeah.
Okay, are you okay?
Although he's just not killing them, which is fine. I mean, it's risky, but it is efficient.
I fell into
Not
the
to
pit
fight
of
zombies.
blood.
Okay.
They are slow, you can run away from them easily.
Oh, I might die. I might
However,
die. Oh,
they can cause problems.
I'm so
So what happens there, the zombies were not the
Yeah, I know where I am.
major problem there.
I'll be fine.
The real issue is trying to climb a ladder in the presence of mobs. The mobs will always knock you off that ladder, so that was really bad. But that risk he took, leaving the zombies alive to save time, comes back to bite him, because now when he's trying to run away on low health, the zombies come in and finish him off.
I might as well.
Okay.
So that's unfortunate.
Oh, this is the
Back when you
red
need us
one.
back,
Oh.
bud.
Now dying is not the end of the world though. When you die, your coins and items will drop.
You need to be
Well, 80% of your coins will drop, the other 20% will disappear. But you can still go back and pick up his stuff.
Sorry.
Now if you die in lava, of course, it's different, all your stuff is gone. Well, your coins are technically not gone, but it's not like you can just go jump in the lava and bring them out, because you're just gonna die again.
Try.
So if that's the case, you kind of have to just
Yeah, exactly. That's
brush
why
yourself
I
off,
was
go
trying to see if I could
explore
run.
another path to get more coins and sand, and at least contribute something to the run. In this case though, Cam died outside of lava, so you can just go back, grab his stuff.
This one, it's a weird
Okay,
system puzzle.
I would come back if you're not. By the way, guys, we have 30 seconds and 2 seconds, so please come back. Everyone, come
Okay,
back. If
30
you're not in the
seconds
main
total.
room right now.
So there we go, he gets his coin back, and it's a bit dangerous because there's so many mobs there, nearly dies again.
Total.
Unfortunately, he's not going to have the time to go do anything else, but at least he was able to recover his coins.
I can flick anything in here.
I would go, just get out.
Just go?
Everywhere- like,
Okay.
I think we've got one sand fishes up at the top there.
I cashed it.
I'm here.
Cam- okay.
So unfortunately, he does not unlock the blue vault this run.
Fish, you coming?
Yep, I'm coming.
I think it was a pretty good run though, aside from that.
I
well,
considered it, but I didn't want to fall.
there are obviously areas to improve that I've pointed out, but it was not a terrible run.
No,
Even
we
when you
actually-
consider the fact that he died.
Yeah, leave.
Okay.
We got 3,700 points. That was good.
Evaluating running performance is a lot harder than evaluating sandkeeping performance, since a lot more goes into it and a lot of things are room or situation specific, but I'll try to highlight the things that I think are applicable to the most runs. One thing that Cam did well this run is that he never got stuck on something. It's an underrated part of running, and it's hard to notice since it doesn't stick out the way, say, dying or missing sand does, but it can be a real run killer. Cam never reran the same areas, he didn't wander the hub for too long looking for a path, and he never got stuck on a parkour or puzzle, so he was able to spend as much time as possible exploring tunnels. I'd like to shout out Scott here as well for the way he directed Cam around the hub room. His sandkeeping performance was honestly better than Zeus's, which I used for the sandkeeping walkthrough, but the reason it's so good is because of the way he applies his 35 events worth of Sands of Time experience, so I don't think that's exactly easy to replicate for newcomers. As for areas to improve, the obvious one is don't die. Now, dying looks bad on the stat sheet, but what lesson are we learning here? Don't climb a ladder when mobs are nearby? That is a good tip, but it's not going to come into effect in 99% of the game time. Focusing too much on a death makes you overlook other aspects of your run. The area of improvement I want to highlight is a lack of sand. Cam passed up on a bunch of side rooms and missed target blocks that often have sand, and I pointed this out during the run. Sand supports other runners, so even if he doesn't get many coins from shooting those target blocks and entering those side rooms, who knows how many coins him and his teammates will get with that extra minute of runtime. By collecting sand, you're indirectly collecting coins because you're giving your teammates the opportunity to go get more coins. I chose this VOD to watch because Cam is fairly new, and he makes a lot of mistakes due to inexperience that can be used as learning moments. Now don't get me wrong, Cam is a pretty good player. He's coming off of back-to-back events placing top 20 individually, and he's still improving by the month. It's normal for good players to make mistakes in Sands of Time, especially in the first few runs. Only a handful of players have ever had a good first run, and most of them are now regarded as S tiers, as well as Smallent. Smallent also had a really good first run. So if your first run or first few runs even are bad, that's completely normal. It's a hard game. If you manage to digest all this and still want to learn more, I suggest doing more VOD reviewing, either with a teammate or you can try watching someone else's VOD review to hear their insight. I've done some myself, which you can find in my VOD channel I've linked in my description, and HBomb and Jojo also do them often, so you can find those somewhere on YouTube, I'm sure. Good luck.